Well, the Reader's Digest version, September 10th of 2021. I was at a low because I was sharing the truth. I was not afraid, like you say, to speak out. I thought about it for a while because the acting career was just about to probably go to the next level. I was going to get access to much bigger roles, but we had no idea what kind of a problem we were going to run into when we started speaking the truth. So I eventually got fired by my agent, my manager, because all things, you got to be vaccinated to show up on set and wear the diapers and everything. And I wasn't going to show up to set and start fighting. So I was telling my agents, my managers, I'm not getting vaccinated. I'm not wearing that bullshit. I'm not doing any of that stuff and everything like that. So I got shit canned. So you need representation to get access to that stuff, to auditions and stuff. So it was done, and I must have subconsciously said it reached a low point in my life where I said I can't do this anymore. Oh shit! I said I'm not going to cry today. I can't do this anymore, and I must have, not knowing what I know now, at the time I reached out to God. I said, what am I doing wrong? And I had this wild experience.
Hello, it's Mark Attwood here, the Mark Attwood Show, Adventures in the Cosmic Suit. How's it going? Let's start today's show with a little energy bar root chakra. Ooh. Ooh, that's good. It's good. Schumann resonance off the charts. I assume you know more about that than I do. It's crackers. I did a video this morning. If you're on my Substack list, you will have received that earlier. If you follow me on X, you'll have seen that. I quite enjoyed doing that this morning. It's supposed to be the day that they release the Epstein list, and I talk about the new light on the world. What does it all mean? Because it's still worth trying to understand what's going on, and it's worth sharing those opinions. And if you have the cojones to speak out and not be afraid of being slagged off for sharing thoughts, it's a good idea to do that. So I continue to do that. I'm on x.com/Mark Attwood, capital M, capital A. Don't know if that makes a difference, but that's where I am. And it's still the greatest place at the moment for speaking the truth, because, as you know, I've been off Facebook for nearly 3 years. 3 years now, which has been a massive blessing for me. Look at the size of this selenite. Look at that. Ooh. Just bought a lot of selenite. Why? Because I'm into crystals and poetry and truth and other stuff and healing in particular. As you probably know, we are now into our second year of running a healing center. Typical. As soon as I start a show, my children start to ring. I'll have to put that off for a second. Yeah, so you probably know that there's a healing center here in Ireland that we have been running very successfully now for over a year and a half. I'll just share this with you in case you don't know about it. It's called Live 5D Health, live5dhealth.com. And you can see here, we've got incredible water there. The best water in Ireland, actually. Hyperbaric oxygen chambers, red light therapy, PEMF, my favorite. Brown's gas. If you don't know what Brown's gas is, go and look it up. The Orinoco healing pod, bit of quantum healing there. The only rock seaver and sound therapy bed in Ireland as well. We've also got holographic sound therapy, which is not on the website at the moment. We've got exercise of oxygen therapy. We've got a store there, and we're opening a spa in about 6 or 7 weeks, which is going to contain what we think is the world's first steam room with completely clean structured water and a sauna overlooking the river and a cold plunge bath. And we've embedded somatids into the walls so that just by being in the room, your chi energy is elevated considerably. But, this journey, if you told me this journey. I hate saying this journey, but you know what I mean. This journey, if you told me 5 years ago I'd have a healing center and I'd be publishing books of poetry and waving selenite wands around on the internet, I'd have laughed at you. But that's where we're at. And it's about 28 months ago. I was on the Truth Tour 2 in America, and I turned up to this venue. I think it was on a Sunday. It was the day I met Kathy O'Brien. And I was walking around smoking a fag, and I saw this huge Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine vehicle. I was like, that's cool. And I walked up a bit closer, and it was all Trump stuff, and it was all stuff about the Great Awakening. And then I met the guy that owned it, and his name is Stephen William Tennant. I know him as Tennant. I've not spoken to him for quite a long time, but he's my guest today, and he's got some interesting things to share with us. How you doing, Tennant?
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, kid?
How's it going, man?
Oh, man. Beyond excellent, dude. Thanks for having me today. It's great to see you.
Well, it's great to see you. I'll just tell everybody, apart from driving that amazing truck, you are a former actor, you're a musician. I say former actor, I think you're still probably a brilliant actor. It's just probably not got the work because you got
I got,
bollocksed in the music industry
I got
for
silenced.
speaking. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we met in the middle of that Truth Tour, and that was amazing because you came along then, and I remember you giving an amazing talk in Anaheim. And it was really emotional because you told your story and you showed that you were in some big TV shows, and and everything just got whipped away, didn't it? Just tell the viewers briefly how you came to this point in your life.
Well, the Reader's Digest version, September 10th of 2021, I was at a low because I was sharing the truth. I was not afraid, like you say, to speak out. I thought about it for a while because the acting career was just about to probably go to the next level. I was going to get access to much bigger roles, potentially series regular stuff. And I thought about it and I thought it would be a problem, but we had no idea what kind of a problem we were going to run into when we started speaking the truth. Um, I, I I couldn't have guessed that one for all the money in the world. So I eventually got fired by my agent, my manager, because all things you got to be vaccinated to show up on set and wear the diapers and everything. And I wasn't going to show up to set and start fighting. So I was telling my agents, my managers, I'm not getting vaccinated. I'm not wearing that bullshit. I'm not doing any of that stuff and everything like that. So I got shit canned. So you need representation to get access to that stuff, to auditions and stuff. So it was done. So I started. It was a very rough time. So right around September, right around my birthday of 21, I was at a real low. I had the RV at the time. Wasn't painted. I wasn't going out on tours or anything. And I had a boat. I was at the marina doing a lot of drinking, a lot of partying, all of this stuff. And like, what in the world is going on? Why do I feel like I'm on a deserted island here? Why can't I connect with people? Why can't people see what the hell is going on? And I must have subconsciously said it reached a low point in my life where I said, I can't do this anymore. Oh shit. I said, I'm not going to cry today. I can't do this anymore. And I must have, not knowing what I know now, at the time, I reached out to God. I said, what am I doing wrong? And I had this wild experience. I won't get into it today. That's the part of the tour that hopefully will develop, this Healing the World tour, taking our power back after all these years, right? And so I had this wild experience. I couldn't explain it. It was the scariest actually experience of my life. I said, this is what it's like when you die. I'm being judged. Like I was being run through my life, just to give people how serious this was. I thought I was dying, and whatever it looks like before you die, wherever you go, I thought that was what was happening to me. Dark soul of the night. People can call it all kinds of things, right? And what I call it now is that I called out to God. I don't mind saying God and Jesus, but for those that have their own, I called out to the divine that night. That he or she, they heard my inner voice, that I needed them. And ultimately, I think that's how this entire thing ends. And that's why this is one of my designs. That's my song. But Jesus and Justice for All is one of my logos, because that's how this ends. We're going to get Jesus and the creator, and those that need justice are going to get it. So, one thing led to another. I wound up in Dallas. I was part of that whole negative 48, Michael Brian Prods, been there for months. I still can't explain why it had to happen. I know that it had to happen. I had to meet a bunch of people. Something special went on there. Bing, bam, boom. I've been with all of these people. I was at the insurrection. I was actually number 2 in line at the insurrection. I was there all night. So for January 6th, Tenor is the number 2 person out of 1 million or 2 million people. I'm number 2. I had no plan of going. The divine guided me there, and I wind up in that position. 2 days before, I was in Georgia when Trump was still president. My first rally, had no idea of going because I was freshly off of being fired from my singing gig. I was fronting, as you know, I was fronting one of the most popular 80s tribute bands in the United States, and I was upsetting the team. So I had gotten fired a few days, and then I wound up waking up depressed after my last show on New Year's Eve in Virginia. We did a great show. Everyone was in their pods, in their little chalk circles, and it was like the Twilight Zone. We had to do a mock ball drop at 10 o'clock at night because we had to be out of there because you know that COVID, after like 10:01, COVID, like it was 1,000 times more you can catch it like after 10 p.m. apparently. So we had to do a fake ball drop, and I'm like, what in the F is happening here? This can't be real. So anyway, I went. I thought I'd be partying. I'm alone for the first time in my adult life on New Year's Eve, having the ex has severe and dangerous sheepnesia. I lost everything. The ex, the business, real estate, acting, I lost it all as a result of standing up. So anyway, I woke up that morning, went to bed depressed. I woke up January 1st, 21, full of piss and vinegar. I had no intention of going to a Trump rally. Didn't even know about it. A few days later, I'm in Georgia, January 4th. It's the Loeffler Purdue, rally where Trump is, where that was stolen, right, with Warnock and whatever. So I'm there. I met all the people who I eventually years later I would become friends with, the front row Joes that are at every rally. And then 2 days later, I'm driving home, and I was chronicling my journey online, and people are like, "Ted, are you coming through? Are you going to?" I think I'm going to the Save America rally. Trump spoke about it, yesterday at the rally, and there I am. I wind up January 6th, and I'm the number 2 person in line. Like, you can't make this up. The divine is like running this show, right? Like, why me and my part, what I'm doing? Because I gave it up to the creator on my birthday. Apparently, this is what I'm learning now. So there's so much more, Mark. It's chronicled on my channels and all of that, and whatever. But I'm focusing on where I've come now, is that was all for a reason. And I ask God every day, what do you want me to do for you, God? Because I'm living for God. I'm not living for myself. So as I got into this and I started following Braden and Greg Braden and Joe Dispenza, and I started to really tap in to what the secret is of what the entities have kept from that. So hopefully we'll touch on that today, because it's really down to a very simple thing, and it's all about emotions. We have to put our emotions. I tried to simplify this, so I'm the guy that's going to talk about it this way. Everyone's going to talk about it in brain and heart coherence, and feeling gratitude and getting that emotion. But I'm the guy that's going to talk about it in an even simpler way, and that's just, we have to change our emotions. We can't let the entities that used us and our power and our energy and our emotions to create the world that we're living in now, because unfortunately we created it by them using us and manipulating our emotions for bad. So we have to just simplify and put good emotions out, even if you just start the day with it, even if you're in the fight, even if you're a podcaster, even if you have a show, even if you're still talking about all of this nonsense that's going on out there, who's approved, who's on the cabinet, who's doing this, we're going to touch on the thing today because it's fun. It's the fun aspect of it. But if we start our day with using our emotions and our heart and putting love and gratitude and all of these beautiful things out, put that ripple out in the morning before you grab the phone and get caught up in the nonsense. If you can start the day with that, like I do, things will start to change. And I have tangible things that we're going to talk about that I have in my life as a result of that, because there's no other reason that I should have them. And once I started doing this practice and learning more and more about the heart and the brain and celebrating things as if they're already here, that's the secret that they left out of The Secret, which Carol, our girl Carol, put in the chat when I was on with Lewis the other night. They invited me on the Tinfoil Hat Tuesday, which I spoke at length about these things. but they left the secret out of the secret, and that's the secret. They left the secret out of the Bible as well. I think we all know at this point Bibles have been manipulated. There's missing ones. They're going to surface. We're going to learn the real history, of how this all really came down. But I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to trigger anyone. I want people to target in on. I think that they can agree that there's been some manipulation. I mean, man wrote it, different versions and all of that, whatever. A lot of beautiful things in there. But what they left out, and what Braden tells us, is when they found the lost book of Thomas, the ask and ye shall receive on the pray, they left out how to pray. Because I've been praying my whole life, Mark, and I didn't get shit until now, until I learned what the secret was of applying my heart and seeing it as if it's already done. That's why I have the dog. I would lay in bed, I would hold a pillow, I would hold something, I would cry and celebrate that the dog was in my life. I would imagine, I would daydream like we did when we were kids, before we were completely calcified. And it took all of our dreams and imagination away, and our emotions, and they put our emotions on everything else. This is the most important thing today, if anyone gets it. Emotions. Use your emotions for you and your life and the betterment of the world, and the things that we're waiting for every day, and the things that we want to see and we want to change. We will actually speed up the process and get there a lot quicker if we at least start the day like I told you, and if you tap into this and the people that are talking about this, because this is all I want to talk about, and I want to go out on a tour. I want to sing music. I want to embrace people, because they tried to keep us apart, right? Because they know how powerful we are. We need to get together on a different type of tour this time. We need to embrace. We need to do it through music. The divine told me that my part is to help heal through music. So I wrote my first song, Mark, and hopefully we'll hear a snippet of these 3 songs, because this is a good part. Music and healing music, and the right music, not in the 440, again, where they're keeping us mentally out of the place, right, where we're supposed to be, because we're responsible for everything. We are. God's inside. We're who we've been waiting for. We have everything we already need. We shouldn't be waiting for everything. We need to focus on this and our power, and we need to make the world what some people are waiting for. Engage in this a little bit in the morning, and you're going to see what you want to see a lot quicker. And we're going to do it. We're the Flash. We're the table flippers we've been waiting for. It's us.
I know. I've been saying the same thing for
I know you know, but if people are hearing
other
people to start to really hone in on exactly what it is, and God is working, because we're the sand crystals. It's all about frequency, energy, and vibration. That's what I like to say happened that night. God sent out, like you just hit your device. God just pointed down. The divine pointed down at tenor on my birthday and said, he moved me like a piece of sand, like when that frequency goes and then all those beautiful designs come together. We're the sand crystals. We're coming together. That's what's happening here. We got to get the memo. We have to know that we're the sand crystals, and we're coming together, and we're forming that beautiful flower or that beautiful design. We're the design. We're the divine design. It's us. It's always been about us, right? It's amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
I go on forever. Anyway, I'll take a breath.
No, it's great. It's great. It's great. It's beautiful to hear that passion, and it's a wonderful thing. And I think having spent some time with you and knowing your talents is it's great to find a purpose for those, especially after the shite that we all went through, which was necessary. Somebody said to me last night, how many people are going to die, and I said, well, the big problem with all of the COVID thing is that you have to actually realize that it's God's plan. And once you realize that, and that's the thing I was saying in America, and every time I got up, I said, COVID was the best thing that ever happened to the human race. And then I ducked expecting tomatoes, but then people were going, yes.
It is.
And it is, because we had to get rid of this shit, and find our power.
You can't tell people, you have to show them. Like, look what I did. Was screaming from the rooftops. They tried to take me out. I got people think I'm still absolutely batshit crazy, but that's what this military operation, that's what God and the military operation that's going on out there. That's why I just keep my eye on it for entertainment. It doesn't affect me emotionally. That's the key. I look at it because I know exactly what's going to be coming down at some point in the future, right? And so I keep my eye on it for entertainment purposes, just to watch, what I was involved with. And look, we had to do what we had to do. Those of us that lost our platforms, people think we're crazy. That was God's plan, the Q plan, all of that was real. We did what we had to do. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with that. I got to move into what I'm speaking about today. And I know there's a fight still going on out there, and I appreciate, and I'll show up. Like if I have a fight that's brought to me, and I got that Mystery Machine, it's ready. It starts up every 3 days. It's still registered. It's ready to show up and scream from the rooftops. But I think we have to start the day with what I spoke about and put that love ripple out there, and we're going to get what we want quicker when we unite and we understand how powerful we are and we start using what we have. Creators inside. We're not waiting for him and Jesus to come from somewhere. They've always been in here. That's what they tried to. That's what the words in my song, Mark, thank you for coming. The Divine wrote that song. So that's how I know the song's going to be one of the most popular songs on the planet, because that's the way I manifested it. And I made a deal with the Divine. I'm like, I need you to help me write a song. I've been a musician, but I never wrote my own song. And so the Divine wrote a song. He used me as the vessel. And I know that the song has the most important words of any song that exists in the world today, because the Divine is using me he wants people to hear his message. So that's thank you for coming.
Well, we'll play the song in a moment. I just want to make sure people watching this are aware of the tour. Let's talk about the tour first. I'm just going to share this screenshot here, which is the Healing the World tour. Where is this? When is it? How do people find it?
So we don't have dates yet. We're developing this. That's why, and I have to shout out to Denise Bliss Phillips, who was a big part of the True Tours. We were talking last year.
Hi, Denise.
Hi, Denise. She was supposed to be here today, but something happened that she's dealing with. So hello, Denise. We love you. So she's going to be a big part of helping put this together. She's trying to get me on shows because we just want to talk about the concept. We want to see who wants to, after they're done hearing about it, who wants to be a part of it, who wants to potentially show up, potentially sponsor, potentially give us venues, right? So we can do this, So I don't care if it starts, Mark, where I show up with my and this is Healing the World tour. I want to know as this develops, and through there, and you can, write a message, and also Tenor. I just put my tenortalk.com if they want to hook up with me on other social media. Everything is there, and how to contact me. Like if you have a venue, if you have ideas to help develop this. So when this starts, it doesn't matter to me if I take my little pancake Fender system and I meet 10 people at a place, right, on the road somewhere. I sing to them, we embrace, we talk about this powerful way to manifest healing, right? And I know you have the center, I'm involved in healing things too and everything, but I know for a fact that and I don't know how long it's going to take, Mark, but in the near future, we won't need the healing centers. We won't need.
We know they're bridges. They're bridges.
And this is helping people to get healthy right now, because you can't function. And if you're stressed out and you have all of these, you have this dis-ease, it's hard to tap into your power. So that's why we have these beautiful devices and centers, and there's all kinds of things, as long as you go to the legitimate ones. And obviously I would say Mark is legit, but in the future, that's why I believe the med beds are here in some capacity, Mark. They're us.
We are the med beds.
We're the med beds, right? And I lost so many people over the years. I said, you're not getting money. The last thing you're getting is like some Nasara Jasara money. We can't get people to get off the couch, to do something for themselves. And you're going to get money, and then you get money, and then that's going to get you off the couch.
Well, I think those things were all tests anyway.
They were all tests. And then I think by now the people that are still sitting and also God is flushing out all of the bullshit patriots too. And my boy Derek is like getting hardcore. Derek Johnson what a soul. He's getting so hardcore. Like, he's definitely part of the military operation. He explains the military operation to the T. It's getting better and better. It's amazing. So it's just fun and entertaining to watch. And like I said, I don't get caught up in it and emotionally. The only entity that's allowed to have my emotions is my divine creator. I talk to him multiple times a day. I weep in gratitude, because if you can't figure out what you want, you can't see certain things in your life, it's hard, Mark, right? We've been poisoned. They sprayed us. They put shit in our food. They did fear tactics, false wars. We're so caught up in ancestral baggage that we're carrying. We got to learn how to get rid of. We got to forgive our ancestors. So I start my day multiple times a day. I just talk to the creator. He's the only one that's allowed to get my emotions. And it's the emotion of love and gratitude. And that's why my life is changing. I still, trying to figure out how to pay the bills, but it does not stress me out at all. Because in the 11th hour, money shows up and I'm able to get to the next day, because that's what the creator is going to do when your heart's in the right place and you're showing gratitude. You put that out there instead of fear. You put love, gratitude, and the abundance and everything that we need will come. But we can go get more and be specific about it, about this stuff. But just that gratitude, that love, put that ripple out when you start the day. Then go kick ass if you have to.
Yeah, it starts the whole day. Correct. 7 thank yous.
Start the day that way.
7 thank yous before breakfast is one of my mottos. But I don't eat breakfast anymore either, so whatever. Let's play this song. Let me pull this up.
Well, this is actually a medley. This is a medley. There's a medley of my 3 current songs that are out there right now. And Thank You for Coming is the last one.
Yeah, well, can I play this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen for everybody, and I'll just take us out and play this for us.
Great.
God knows we ain't perfect. God knows we ain't perfect. Lord, how we try, and we live the way that we live for those brave souls that died, and they gave America their all to America. That's America. There's miles of roads before us as a new generation draws near. Visions, dreams, and understanding, all roads to a new frontier. That's America, the hope of America. That's America. That's America, the hope of America. That's America.
Are you spiritually protected? Are you wearing the armor of God? Are you prepared against the principalities of darkness that currently wreak havoc in our world? Spiritual warfare is a very real thing. Weapons of Mass Protection is the explosive and practical 5-star best-selling book from authors Abby Wynn and Mark Atwood, who both agree that humanity is in the midst of the biggest spiritual awakening in human history. If you feel like things ain't what they seem, if you feel you are under attack, get your weapons ready now. Weapons of Mass Protection. Practical tools for spiritual warfare. Out now.
That's some. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
Thanks, bro. I just I don't
that's
tear up every time I listen to the music, but I was tearing up there a little bit through.
No, I got goosebumps all the way through that, and then I was called to the window, and there's a bright light out the window that is so bright, it's unreal. And then I just smiled at it, and then it started moving for me, which happens to be a lot. But,
Awesome. Yeah.
But it hasn't happened like that in quite a long time. And
Creator's working with his people.
Oh, it's just beautiful stuff, man. How do people buy this music from you? You've made some great videos there as well.
You know, it's from my my little production in the past of everything that got taken away from me, but God set me up for some stuff, I guess. I got hats, I got shirts. That's thank you for coming. This is my design, Jesus and justice for all. Notice the noose, right? We're getting Jesus or we're getting justice. There's no option C. And here's the medley of here's all my CDs. All three of these have CDs. I have physical CDs. And the thank you.
My kids will like that because we only use CDs in the car.
It's cool. I mean, and some people just like to have it. It's nostalgia.
No, it's so much better. And there's no frequencies go. You know, everybody's got their bloody thing on in the car and microwaving them. So we put the CDs on, and
it's great. But the digital downloads are available if they go to tenortalk.com, which is right here. I don't know if you put it in the show notes.
It's there on the screen, yeah.
Tenortalk.com, and like I said, right at the top is all of my social media links if anyone wants to follow me, because I do occasional shows, but I'm talking mainly about what we're talking about today. Everything's archived, about all of this stuff and everything. But and I moved my songs. The music videos are right on my homepage, and if people don't have the money, that's fine. They can go to tenortalk.com and they can watch the music videos right there. There's also an option to buy it, which will bring them to they're right there. There's all my social links up top, and on the mobile they'll be stacked, but you can listen right there, and the bars underneath you can go to my website. If you could buy it from the artist, that's great. I might see some of the money, but the songs are on all major streaming platforms. Thank you for coming. We're in the middle of a transition, so when you click one of those links under there, it'll bring you to this here and now where it shows all the options, whether it's iTunes or Spotify and all of that. So if they stick with iTunes, if they're watching now, I would love that they click buy directly from the artist, because everything's still corrupt here. We got to still unearth the music industry where you can't even count. You don't even know who's downloading your shit. You have to trust all of these big corrupt people. So for now, if they go to tenortalk.com, if they go to buy, and if they go to my Shopify, if they're going to get a hat, or if they click that, if they scroll down under all of the options under like Amazon and iTunes, if they scroll down right there, it's not a big thing, one page, it says buy from the artist. So they'll be buying it directly from me. Fees will come out, but it's not going to the whores.
Yeah, so I just ran a publishing course with my friend Abby, telling people exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
because whenever you sell a book or anything on any of these platforms, you don't know who's bought it. You only get a tiny percentage of it. They censor it.
There's no accounting. You can't, and it's quarterly, like after 3 months, and then
I have to 3 months later. I know.
That's everything we're getting rid of. So I don't pay it any mind. So that's why I ask people. And if you buy it directly from the artist, it will flow right into your, don't worry guys, it will flow. Like I bought mine just to test it. I bought one of the songs and it flowed right into my my library on the phone and the devices. So don't worry like, it'll flow right into your thing. So if you can buy it, I want to get this tour going, Mark. So I don't, people donated to me when I was on the road and stuff, but now there's a cause because I want to, like I said, we eventually want to be blessed, with one song taken off. And I've been manifesting Trump retruthing but I think it's going to wind up being That's America, because that goes with the times, right? It's the future, right? We're starting the World's Fair celebrations in a few months. So, but
that song's going to be huge. I'm sure of it.
I already manifested that it's going to be an anthem. Here's the crazy thing: the very first thing I wrote on my vision board, it's right next to my bed. I see it every night before I go to bed. I'll share. I usually don't share. But the first thing I wrote is Save America is the number one song. The first song that I was going to write, that I was manifesting, I was going to call it Save America. That didn't happen. I wound up writing Thank You for Coming. God had other plans, right? Which is amazing. So I got God and country covered. So God's happy. He's cool with me. I got God and country covered. But the funny thing is, 20 years ago, a friend of mine wrote that song called That's America. That's how crazy God works, that we reconnected. And I'm like, I tried to work on that song with another artist that I was attempting to manage. When I did a vocal competition, he asked me to manage him. And I'm like, I don't know. I'll dive into anything. What the hell? So we tried to do it. And it was like 13 years ago. The song was written 20 years ago. I want to write a song called Save America. God has other plans. All right. Thank You for Coming, which I'm so much more happier that I wrote that, because that's the story of how I was saved. It's the blueprint that we're Q. We're Q. Q's creation. It's an egg. Get it? We're all Q. So it's your song, everybody. Go listen to it and share the hell out of it. So then God sends That's America through Joe. So I didn't have to write, the patriotic song, but I'm going to continue writing, as things level off. But
no, you got to keep writing. It's great.
No, I know, because I was told that my message now has to come through music. My take on this, my contribution to doing this, everything that's done, I wouldn't change. As crazy and as insane of a journey of losing everything and being penniless and homeless, and not far from it, but I don't worry about that stress anymore, because that's all about to change, because my abundance is going to probably come through. These songs are eventually going to go to where God has the plan for them. It's just going to take time. I already know that it's going to happen. It's God's timing, and I'm totally fine with that. That's why I'm in peace every day. Some days are hard. I don't want people to get pissed off at me. Look, tenors ran how happy. No, I'm in quicksand some days.
We all are. Yeah.
And I drink a few beers too. But when God saved me, I quit drinking. I quit watching porn. I quit womanize. It was instantaneous what happened to me that day. September 11th was my last drink for 17 months. Could you figure, Mark? And then I had my first drink after 17 months. And everything's in moderation, because I believe we can have a few drinks. We can do things.
Jesus turned water into wine. I mean, it's not,
right.
All of this kind of, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. That's the old paradigm,
right?
To create guilt and shame, and we have the power. And what is amazing about watching you is how much more. I mean, you had a career as a performer. I had a career as a performer 30 years ago. What we're doing now, when it comes directly from source and through, it's beyond beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's real. Back then, it was back then when it first started, it was for the women and the money and the Charlie Sheen, oceanfront house and everything. Now, because I reached that point and I gave it to God, He came. Fuck.
It's okay. Go on.
And it's just to help everybody. If I'm blessed, with abundance, I give now. I don't have anything stolen. I'm always giving. I always did. So I always know I had a good heart. But now it's different. When the divine steps in, you see everything different, and you put Him first. When you put Him first, then everything will change. And so that's a big part of this too. I mean, I'm tapping into the divine. That's what we have to tap into. That's how we have to start the day. We have to form. We think we may have a relationship with God and Jesus. I did my whole life, because that's what religion taught me. We put $10 or whatever in that basket. We pay. He's on display on the cross. which is which is a nightmare to begin with. Like, could you imagine? So, it's not all about that. I don't go to church. I have to tell people I never really read the Bible. I felt uncomfortable in church. And now I have finally in my life, after all of that baloney, because religion actually divided us all, because we all come from one place, right? I don't want to get too deep. I don't want to trigger people, but they better get prepared for this. They better put it in one of their lobes because it's coming. Because where we go one, we go all. We're all the same. We came from one place, whatever you want to call it. I don't mind calling that place God, but it's the quantum field that we communicate with, the divine field. That's what we're talking about here. And I need to target in on that. That's what I'm focused on, helping people get a true and meaningful relationship with their divine creator. And it's very simple. And I hope that they'll give me a chance, because all I share on my channels is like Greg Braden and Dispenza's short videos of learning how to do such, and the book and the 2 books that I read. And it's very simple to zone in on this. It's our emotions. I want people to understand that. I think that's the most important thing.
It is interesting as well that you talk about them, because of course Greg Braden wrote a book that I thought was amazing years ago called The Divine Matrix. And I think Greg was in The Secret, wasn't he? With
I never saw The Secret. You see, I never had to, because
you mentioned it earlier, and it was interesting because there's the other great book around the same time was called The Biology of Belief, which I can't remember his name now. But I went around saying to people, the big thing missing with The Secret is that they teach you to put it on a board behind you, but unless you truly believe it in your gut and your heart,
right,
it can't possibly ever manifest. And then when you start, because I used to teach the law of attraction based upon what I'd learned, and the missing pieces that you mentioned are true. And I've been saying this for a long time, and also in that list I would include Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, which is really the beginning of the self-help industry, where the bits that were really important were taken out of the book by Andrew Carnegie. And,
right. Same thing happened to the Bible, right?
Exactly the same thing. It's part of the playbook. And the same with religion. Hey, what's his name or her name?
This is Bambi. This is the beautiful little girl that I manifested, and she's a mini Chihuahua, and usually they're nippers and ankle biters and all kind of have issues, because I had one when I was a young boy. But she's absolute. You see her?
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
See her licking? She's just a pure fur ball of absolute love, and she can be nothing other than that, because I manifested her, and God sent her straight like a Jetsons meal. You put it in and it comes out. She came straight from God, because I manifested. I spoke to the divine, and for a few weeks, and I brought this dog into my life, and she was bought for me. I didn't even have the money for the dog, Mark. So that's another story. We spoke about this on the Tuesday tinfoil on Lewis's show, which I think you're cool with Lewis and the guys, right? Like if
yeah.
People to go, I uploaded it on my channel as well. So when they go to Tenor Talk on the Rumble, I think it's the last show, I talk in detail of how I brought the dog into my life. I talk into, a little more detail about what we're talking about. What you just said, you have to see it. You have to experience it. You have to feel it in your heart. You got to think about it, and you got to feel it in your heart. And if you don't get emotional, if you don't get tingles in your body, I don't know what gives people tingles. Like, I don't know, someone might watch a little puppy video or someone getting saved. And, when you get emotional and you get those pins, you get that feeling, that's your emotion. That's that emotion that you need to create. That's what you need to tap in. So when you can create that emotion, right, in your heart over something that you're thinking about for you, we do it when we're watching someone else, but that's fine. That doesn't do anything for you. That makes you feel good in the moment. So if you can, this is the most important thing, people, this emotion, instead of giving your emotion of fear and all this ugly stuff and we're responsible for the world out here. Now we know how to make it go away. And this is the way. We show up to fight and do all of those things, but we have to start the day with what we're talking about. And if you can get that emotion and get emotional over you and what you're thinking about and what you're feeling gratitude over, even if you're very, very sick, you got to be able to find one thing in your life that you're grateful for or you've been grateful for. And if you can't do this, you at least, and it's so hard to do this, everyone, sometimes when you start. It took me well over a year, and I haven't even perfected this because that's how poisoned we are. But
Yeah.
this is the discussion. And this is all I really want to talk about. Okay. And to bring people to that and how to create the emotion for you so you can change your life. It's why I have the dog. It's not foo-foo stuff. It's why I was able to write a song. And a beautiful song. And it's not ego. I can say that because because I tapped into the divine. I have the dog because of the divine. The feeling that's out there.
It's also okay to say that you've created something good.
But it's different, the old tenor,
I know.
and everything. So
I know.
No,
but it's like you got to own it sometimes.
No,
And,
I am owning it now. I thank you for coming. Will be one of the most popular songs on the planet. It's just a matter of time. It's God's timing, not mine. I'm just letting everyone know. And this is all on record.
Well, look, look how big YMCA is now, and that was written 40 years ago.
and the YMCA, just for the fun note, that's actually about a spa, right?
Guantanamo. I know.
About the spa at Guantanamo Bay because it was actually a spa. So imagine it. Everyone's singing the song and they don't even know that they're singing the song about where some of them are going, right?
And that's how crazy the Matrix is. I was talking to Tom last night and we were talking about big toes. And then he said, there's this guy called Stephen Campbell and he's written this thing about the big toe, the theory of everything. And I was going, well, my big toe is a bit of a problem. And then I did a video this morning and I ended up mentioning, this was really weird, Tanner. I mentioned Superman 2 in my video this morning, and of course, and I'd already posted about Superman 2, and I posted clips of Gene Hackman like 2 months ago, and then half an hour after I posted the video, I see this thing: Gene Hackman found dead with his wife and the dog, and I'm like,
news bulletin. Gene Hackman was probably brought to the YMCA.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then you realize his name is Gene Hack. mRNA. What the?
Hello.
Hello.
And they shared a picture. I saw that just for the entertainment purpose. And I saw that the last picture from a year ago. Gene Hackman doesn't even look like him, and he's got his probably 25, 30-year younger wife. She looks Asian. He could barely walk. So what happened? So what's the story? So here's my prediction just for the fun. Again, this doesn't get any of my emotions. I laugh. So it's good. It gets good emotions because I laugh at this shit because it's all been taken care of. And it's so is Suicide Weekend starting now? The Epstein list is coming. I don't know. So Gene Hackman, who's 95, who can't even hold his pecker to take a piss. Did he, shoot the dog, shoot the wife? Because that has suicide all over it. Like, who's going to Gene Hackman after all of these years when he's most likely, if he was still alive, on his deathbed? Right. So it probably is going to come out unless the dog was really smart. I don't think the dog could have did it. So it's probably the wife because she knows what's coming. Right. In the Matrix, in the movie, because they're already at the YMCA. That shit's been taken care of a long time ago. So it's just fun to watch how they're going to do this. And we were talking behind the scenes just for the fun thing. I don't want people to go get consumed. Please do what we're talking about today. Start the day tomorrow with the gratitude and all of these things. Then go look at the news and fun. And don't let it get you caught up mentally because there's no government. Okay. The military is the government and has been for quite some time.
Yep.
Everyone's has their role, whether they're good or bad. It does not matter to me because I'm going to be on a tour. I'm going to be singing to people and bonding with them and helping them to manifest. And the Matrix no longer has anything to do with me. I just keep my eye on it for entertainment. But we were talking about what we were talking about specifically when I said they showed so Pam Bondi, the new attorney general, is releasing supposedly today, right, the Epstein list in the Matrix. And everyone's okay. So all my friends and family are going to wake up or we get the Epstein. No, this process is a slow drip reversal. So get involved in taking care of yourself as you watch the show. I suggest they put it on certain things on Comedy Central, put it on Netflix, just put what's going on in the world on these shows because it's a show. It's just a show. Has nothing to do with me anymore.
It's a movie.
So, they have new podcasters, right? They opened it up. The whatever the hell the name, the Brady Room. They named some like podcasters today that are like in the Patriot Network. They're at the White House. So and they're holding like the report, the pictures of the Epstein list in the report. They're holding them. So I didn't see some of these scenes coming, Mark. It's really
Oh,
God's
no.
really brilliant.
That's the beauty of it. And that's why
God's
you can't
brilliant, right? He's
that's why you
like
don't
God.
do predictions, just like
Only God can do it, and the military. So
Yeah.
you got new podcasters that they opened up the Brady Room for to come in. They fired and threw out shit can the Associated Press, probably because they were probably the most corrupt one of the fake news. And so the fake news, right? CNN, MSDNC, they're not going to report. I'm just having fun today, guys. I'm laughing over this. This doesn't stress me at all. This is just the entertainment. I'm entertained by all of this stuff. It means nothing to my life, but just to watch it go down. So you got new podcasters that are holding the Epstein list. The fake news isn't going to report it, but everyone that the world knows who's been let into the Brady Room for press briefings is going to be sharing this. So what's going to happen? Your friends and family that are suffering with severe and dangerous cases of sheepnesia, they're slowly being led back. This is how we get rid of their sheepnesia. And it's a long process. So you can be all enveloped in that and stressed out and when. Or you can start your day beautifully, like me and Mark were just talking about, and you could put that gratitude ripple out and you could start to change your life. And then that stuff won't mean as much to you anymore. And you actually will be responsible for making that field of truth come quicker. You're responsible for that. You can actually help speed up this movie. We are responsible. This is why I'm concentrating, because I want this movie over with 5 years ago, Mark. So I'm concentrating on love, gratitude, getting divine souls together. That's the tour. Again, if I show up with my little portable little PA, we're in somebody's giant living room or a little ranch or a little something, and I'm singing songs and other people, and we're embraced, and we're doing a slight little brain and heart thing. I'll speak to people. What are you suffering about? Because we're the healers, and hopefully we could do with what happened in the video that I shared on Lewis's thing. I have to say this. I took an 8-minute clip from one of Braden's videos. You must have seen it. Remember Greg talking about the medicineless hospital? The woman had the 3-inch tumor cancer in her bladder or her stomach.
Is this where they see
the three people that agreed, that know how to tap into the brain and they know how powerful they are. They already got the memo. They're unaffected by the outside world, and they agree on a word or 2 words, and the word was, it sounds like they're saying was. It sounds like they're saying what's up. Was. So the woman understands and believes that she can heal. So she's laying there. They have the screenshot of the cameras. They do a still shot of the bladder with the 3-inch tumor, and then they have the real-time sonogram going on. And in less than 3 minutes, they're chanting. They're seeing the woman, what we're talking about, in those people's hearts and minds. They are seeing this woman healed, walking around, whatever they agreed upon, they're all on the same page mentally. And that word that they're chanting is that's what they're seeing. The woman is healed. And the woman, whatever she's doing, she's not chanting, she's sitting there, but she's participating. And you watch in real time. And this is real, people. This is you. This is what we can do. This is why I want to get together. You watch this tumor disappear in real time in less than 3 minutes. We do that. This is all we should be taught. Who doesn't want to do that? People stand up out of wheelchairs at these Braden and Dispenza events. I mean, people go home healed because the energy in the room, the people, they're there. Even if they're clouded and they're there and they're learning, they're Dispenza and Braden, they're bringing their hearts and their minds into the right place. Can you imagine the energy, the love energy field and that thing? People go home healed.
Well,
we're the med beds. We're everything we need. This is Mark. This is it. This is all I want to talk about.
I know it's great. It's great. It's great. But talking about love, the thing that kept me alive in the last 5 years is the love of my children, and 2 of them are currently ringing me because I've got my other job of dad's taxi.
We're spoken about everything we need to. I hope people go to right there, tenortalk.com. If you could put maybe the 2 links in.
No, I'll put the links. I'll put the links below the video.
Awesome. And I beg people, I don't want to have to take donations to help with this tour, but that's available on Tenor Talk. I'd rather you buy yourself, go to Tenor Talk and go to the shop and digitally download the music or buy CDs. It's good stuff, or at least share it, because if the music starts to take off, right, then there's notoriety on the songs, and then people might want to come to shows. So we'll have a bigger, more powerful tour with more people, and you know, and money will come in. So whatever you could do, understand. If not, go to my website and you can listen to the songs for free. And please share them if you like them. Please share them. Please help. You know.
No, yeah, absolutely. We'll put all those links below. And if you want to see the first time me and Tenor met, then go to my website, which is not that one, which is
you did the live. I heard talking outside. I was like, that's friggin' Atwood outside. I gotta throw some clothes on and go outside. And
I know. It was funny. We did that live, and that live's disappeared because that YouTube channel got taken down.
Were you? Oh, that's gone.
It's somewhere on my website, which I'm just gonna see if I can pull this up. Yeah, if you guys want to watch the first time we met, go to theMarkAttwoodShow.com. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the trailer for the film that I made called Where You Atwood. And in that film, you'll see me and Tenor for the first time. I'm going to be releasing a new version of this film online in the next couple of months. But if you want to go and watch it, go and watch it. It's a really good film.
Cool. It's great. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
But it's been fantastic talking to you, man. And thanks for sharing everything you're doing. It's beautiful stuff. And the music is absolutely mind-blowing. And God bless you. And I'll see you again sometime soon, brother.
Oh, no doubt. Thank you, sir. Love you.
All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. See ya.